The house seemed too big and empty without Rachel. A month had passed since the funeral, but I still woke up at night, reaching out to her side of the bed. Dad, Emma won't eat again." 8-year-old Jake's voice brought me back to reality. I looked at my 5-year-old daughter. She sat in front of untouched cereal, fidgeting with her braid, just like Rachel used to do when she was nervous. "Sweetheart, you need to eat." "Don't want to. Mom's cereal was better." I sighed. Everything I did was not like Mom. I couldn't braid hair, make proper sandwiches, find lost toys. Rachel handled all of this easily and naturally. A doorbell interrupted our cheerless breakfast. Lisa, my mother-in-law, stood at the threshold. "Thought I'd stop by before work." She hugged the children. "How are you all?" "Grandma!" Emma smiled for the first time that morning. "Daddy can't do braids." "I'll teach him." Lisa looked at me sympathetically. "Andrew, you've lost weight." "Just lots of work. And little food. I'll make lasagna and bring it over tonight." "You don't have to." "I do. Rachel wouldn't want you living like this." At the mention of her daughter, her eyes filled with tears. She quickly turned away, pretending to adjust Emma's bow. "Thank you," I squeezed her shoulder, "for everything." She covered my hand with hers. "We're family, even now." In the evening, she did come with lasagna. The children ate with appetite for the first time in many days. "Almost like Mom's," Jake said. "Of course," Lisa smiled. "I taught her how to make it. After dinner, she helped put the children to bed, and then we sat in the kitchen with glasses of wine." "It's hard," I said, looking out the window. "Without her, everything's different." "I know." She moved closer. "When Tom died, I thought I wouldn't make it. But then there was Rachel. Then the children. Life goes on, Andrew." "How did you cope?" "Day by day, and I'll help you, I promise." There was so much warmth in her voice that I felt a lump in my throat. For the first time in a month, I allowed myself to cry. Lisa started coming every day, first for a couple of hours, then staying longer. She taught me how to braid Emma's hair, cook the children's favorite dishes, handle their moods. "You're saving us," I said one evening as we sat in the living room after putting the children to bed. "You're saving me," she swirled her wine glass. "In my empty house with Rachel's photos, I'm going crazy." I looked at her more carefully. She had changed over the last month, too. Lost weight, looked worn. But she remained a remarkably beautiful woman. "How old were you when Tom died?" I asked. 35, same as you are now."
"And you never—"
"No. There were attempts, but no one could compare to him." We sat in silence. Rain was falling outside. "You know," she suddenly said, "sometimes I see his traits in you. The same care for children, the same look when you're sad. And I see Rachel in you. Now I understand where she got her beauty from." The words came out on their own. We both froze. "Sorry," I mumbled. "That sounded—" "No, it's fine," she blushed slightly. "Thank you." Something changed after that evening. I started noticing how she moved, how she brushed back her hair, how she smiled. And I caught her glances. Warm, understanding. "Dad," Jake asked at breakfast, "will Grandma live with us?" "Why do you ask?" "Because it's better with her. You smile more." I didn't know what to answer. Indeed, with Lisa, the house was coming alive again. Laughter returned, cozy evenings, home-cooked meals. "Maybe you should stay," I asked in the evening when she was getting ready to leave. "It's late, and the guest room couch is very comfortable." She hesitated. "I don't know, Andrew." "Please, the kids will feel better." "The kids?" She looked into my eyes. "And me too." She stayed. And in the morning, I woke up to the smell of coffee and the sound of children's laughter in the kitchen. For the first time in a long while, I felt life goes on. Lisa started staying with us more often. First on weekends, then for several days in a row. Her things gradually appeared around the house. A robe in the bathroom, slippers by the guest room bed, her favorite mug in the kitchen. After putting the children to bed, we often sat in the living room talking about everything. About Rachel, about the past, about the future. "Remember how you met?" she asked one evening. Of course. She was a waitress at that cafe near college. Spilled coffee on me and apologized so sweetly. Yes, she was always a bit clumsy, like I was at her age. I looked at Lisa, elegant, graceful, hard to believe. "Oh, that's years of practice," she laughed. "If you had known me back then, I would have fallen in love immediately." The words escaped before I could think. Silence fell. Lisa looked at me with wide eyes. "Sorry," I mumbled. "I shouldn't have—" "Shh," she moved closer. "It's okay." Her hand rested on mine. Warm, soft. I didn't pull away. Andrew, she whispered, what are we doing? I don't know. We sat so close I could smell her perfume, the same one Rachel used to wear. I often think, she said quietly, that she sent me to you to take care of you. And you too, I squeezed her hand. You were lonely too. Was, she looked into my eyes, until recently. My heart beat faster. I knew I should pull away, stand up, leave, but I couldn't. Lisa, I know. She closed her eyes. This is wrong, but I can't help myself. At that moment, Emma's voice came from upstairs. Dad! Grandma! I had a nightmare! The moment was broken, maybe for the best. But that night I lay awake for a long time, thinking about the warmth of her hand in mine, and how badly I wanted to kiss her. Everything changed on Rachel's birthday. The children drew cards. We took flowers to the cemetery. In the evening, after Jake and Emma had fallen asleep, I found Lisa in the living room. She was crying, looking at her daughter's photograph. Come here, I sat beside her, embraced her. Sorry, she buried her face in my shoulder. Just, today is especially hard. I know. We sat embracing, and for the first time in a long while, it didn't feel wrong. Andrew, she lifted her head, looked into my eyes. I need to tell you something. What? I've fallen in love with you. My heart skipped a beat. And I hate myself for it, she continued. You're my daughter's husband. We're her husband. It's wrong. I kissed her, softly, carefully. She froze for a moment, then responded hesitantly, as if afraid to frighten the moment away. I love you too, I whispered, pulling back. And I feel guilty too. What should we do? I don't know, but I can't pretend I don't feel this anymore. She ran her hand along my cheek. And the children? They adore you. You're already part of our family. And Rachel? What would she say? I looked at the photograph. Rachel smiled from it with her special smile. I think she would want us to be happy, all of us. Lisa nodded. You know, she always said the most important thing in life is finding true love. No matter how, no matter when. And we found it, even if in a strange way. We kissed again, more confidently, deeper. Her lips were soft, warm, tasting of wine and tears. Stay tonight, I whispered. Not in the guest room, with me. Are you sure? More than ever. The night with Lisa was tender, full of mixed emotions. We made love carefully, as if afraid to frighten away the fragile thing that had grown between us. Her touches healed emotional wounds, and her kisses brought me back to life. In the morning, I was awakened by Jake's voice. Dad, why is Grandma sleeping in your bed? Lisa and I exchanged frightened looks. Sweetheart, she began, you see... Are you together now? He interrupted. Like Mom and Dad used to be. Yes, I decided to be honest. We fell in love with each other. Cool, he unexpectedly exclaimed. Emma, come here. Grandma's going to live with us forever now. Emma ran in wearing her unicorn pajamas. Really? If you don't mind, Lisa hugged the children. Of course not. You practically live here already. Their reaction was so natural that we both relaxed. The children accepted our relationship as a matter of course. It was harder with others. When we told Lisa's relatives, the reactions varied. It's strange, her sister said, but you're happy. That's what matters. Rachel would understand, her brother added. She always wanted you both to be happy. Gradually, our life fell into a new rhythm. Lisa moved in permanently. We made love almost every night, making up for years of loneliness. Her body became so familiar that I couldn't remember how I lived without these touches. What are you thinking about? She asked one evening as we lay in bed. About how strange life is. A year ago, I thought I'd never be happy again. And now? Now I understand you can love twice, differently but just as strongly. She pressed against me. Sometimes I feel guilty towards Rachel. I do too, but then I look at how happy the children are, how happy we are. And you understand that everything is right? Yes, exactly that. A year passed. Our house was filled with life and laughter again. Lisa taught Emma to bake cookies using Rachel's recipe, and Jake started calling her Mom Lisa on his own without any prompting. You know, she said one evening as we sat in the backyard, I want to suggest something. What? Let's get married. I choked on my wine. Are you serious? Absolutely. We're already a family. The children are happy. We love each other. Why not? What will people say? What does it matter? She took my hand. We've already survived all the gossip and sideways glances. It's time to live for ourselves. At that moment, the children ran out of the house. Dad, Mom Lisa, look what we drew. It was a drawing. The four of us holding hands, sun above us, and in the corner, a small cloud with a smiling Rachel. Mom in heaven is happy that we're happy, Emma said. Right? Right, sweetheart. Lisa hugged her, and I saw tears in her eyes. You know what? I looked at my unusual but happy family. Let's get married. Hooray! The children shouted. We're having a wedding! The ceremony was modest, just the closest family. Rachel's photograph held a place of honor. She seemed to be blessing us with her eternal smile. In the evening, after the children were asleep, we stood in the same backyard. Any regrets? Lisa asked. About what? Everything us. I pulled her close. You know, I realized something. Love doesn't end with death. It just changes, transforms. I'll always love Rachel. But my love for you is a different story. Not better or worse, just different. And this story is just beginning? She smiled. Yes, and you know what? I can't wait to find out what happens next. We kissed under the starry sky, and I felt everything was exactly as it should be. Sometimes life takes unexpected turns, but if you follow your heart, they lead to true happiness. And somewhere up there, among the stars, Rachel was smiling, looking down at her family. A bit strange, a bit unusual, but so very happy. Did you like this story? Let us know in the comments what you liked. Subscribe to our storytelling podcast. Also, don't forget to like and ring the bell so you don't miss more interesting stories. See you soon.